It's been nearly 2 years since Ram announced that the Hurricane inline-six twin turbocharged engine was going to be their future. The Hemi V8 was going to be going away in the 1500 trucks, right? So going to get heavy duties, but the 1500 was going to be no V8, only the Hurricane inline-six. Now, this caused a lot of commotion online. A lot of Ram fans were saying, I'll never buy a 1500. I won't buy the new truck without the V8. This decision was reversed a year later when Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis said, we're going to bring back the Hemi V8 engine, right? They rushed it back out. They had to do some testing over in New Zealand to simulate the wintertime testing, and they had to make it work with the new electrical architecture, I should say more accurately, to make that work with the new truck. But it's got me wondering, did they make the right decision or the wrong decision? Because Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis said just last week that 40% of truck buyers won't even consider a brand that does not offer a V8 engine. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. It's Friday, it's Truck News Recap Day. Let's talk about that topic and some other topics happened throughout the week. And I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes and why I'm thinking about this topic today, because this topic and this story set a record for us. A record. We had the largest single day views of page views on our website because of this story. I'm a little shocked. Yesterday was an amazing day. So let me show you what's going on here. I published this video on pickuptrucktalk.com. Ram Hurricane engine chief engineer explains why the Hemi 5.7 liter V8 was replaced and to stop changing your oil at 3,000 miles. I did this video in March 9th, 2024. I took that video, I transcribed the transcription, right? I took it, downloaded the transcription. I converted that into a website post. I edited it, made sure it looked good. I wrote it all up, just cleaned it up. And I created a post out of it. And it was basically him and I talking, and I made a story about what he said. And I turned it into things he talked about and why they chose inline-six to V8. And here's the video. I have less gray hair back then. Apparently I need the Just for Men going. I don't know what's going on with this. But no, this is a story that happened a couple years ago. And sorry, if you're listening to this on the podcast, just imagine my goatee is a little more gray. But yeah, this is him and I talking back then. And this is Alan Polkowski. He was the chief engineer of the Hurricane inline-six engine. He also worked on the Hemi V8. Now, this video got 300,000 views. Our website in the last 6 to 9 months has gotten a lot more traction lately. I think because now we're syndicated on MSN, and it's really been helpful. So I thought, let me go back in time, get these older engineering videos and make them into website posts. I've been doing this, but once a week I turn this into something, and here you go. And this is the post. It was remarkable what happened. I saw this post twice on Facebook groups, and probably a dozen more places. And it was people in hurricane groups, that as far as Facebook groups, they were sharing this as a defense about why they bought the Hurricane and how this really made their purchasing decision that much better. They said this post was really why that made their decision a much better decision buying the Hemi. And they kind of did it as they want the Hemi boys to shut up. That's how I took it, but maybe that was wrong, but that took it. So it's interesting because what happened was on the website, here's your Google Analytics. We had 188,000 page views. Early this morning, I said 171,000, so apparently updated. At certain times of the day yesterday, we had over 3,500 people watching or reading that article. Watching would be great too, but 3,500 people watched or read. 3,500 people read that article. Here I'm doing a video talking about reading a story, but 3,500 people at one time reading that article. As a writer, that was great because I haven't got that much traction in years because people started turning to video. But it got me wondering, this is interesting. All these people were reading this article about the Hemi versus the Hurricane, the symbol of freedom protest badge, what's going on, why they did no dipstick, why they made the decisions they made, and why the oil is better these days, why there's no such thing as a break in oil these days, and things are going about that with the oil. And so then it got me wondering, because then, just what was it, last couple weeks ago? I think it was, May 20th. It's been just under a month ago. Ram brought the Rumblebee back, right? The muscle trucks. These have the V8s in them because they're loud, right? They're really loud and fast, and they are V8 powered trucks. So it's really interesting. The Hurricane is actually faster than a lot of these trucks. This is interesting. I've seen this on the Facebook groups. I've seen it on forums. People are like, yeah, this is cute. Yeah, they make a lot of noise, but my Hurricane's faster. Yeah, and especially if besides the big guy, the 777 horsepower, the big guy, but the 6.4 and the 5.7, the Hurricane's faster than those trucks are. So are you saying true muscle truck as far as exhaust note, or are you saying true performance truck? If you're saying performance, you're saying Hurricane. So it's interesting to see, even 2 years later, we're still having this ongoing debate between Hurricane and Hemi. And remember, CEO Tim Kuniskis says they're going to build 100,000 of the Hemis. That's the maximum number they're going to build in the factory last year. That's the capacity. And people were like, cool, they're bringing it back. They're going to sell a lot of these things. Well, understand that overall Ram sales, 100,000 is not that many. No, they sell a lot. So if I were to look up on the website, if I looked up 2025 Q4 sales, and if they sold the 100,000 last year, which they didn't, because they were in the process of making these V8 engines, versus their overall sales, last year they sold in light duty trucks total 204,000, and that was down because it was sort of down numbers because the factory was closed different times a year. So when they get fully ramped up, yeah, 100,000 is going to help, but it's not going to be the big dominant player that the Hemi was in years past. So the Hurricane is still going to outsell the Hemi for Ram sales. So I just find the whole thing really interesting. And I don't know if you find it interesting too. Maybe you turned off the video by now, but it is interesting, this debate between inline sixes or V6s in total and V8s. I mean, there's a lot of interest in V8 still, but they're not the dominant players they were. And have this story blow up basically 2 years later as a website post. And again, I was just kind of fishing here as a journalist. I was like, well, I have this video did really well. I'll just turn it into a website post. I have the content, put it out there, and boy, you guys certainly click the hell out of it. And you still are. Today, 887 people, and it's 2 o'clock on afternoon on Friday. Tonight, maybe get over a couple thousand again, because Friday nights and the number of shares and social media shares and stuff. It is incredible to think about, where we've been and how far this is going, and how people are still really interested. So did Ram make a mistake by, bringing the V8 back? Probably not. They can increase their sales. Did they make a mistake by launching a Hurricane? Definitely not. Still, the conversation is still happening. It's a big conversation piece there. And a lot of people I know, like when I own my RHO, I love the Hurricane engine. And it's one of those things, when you drive them back to back, it's hard to deny the Hurricane engine. It's not a good engine. And so far, the reliability posts I've done on Hurricane engine reliability, it's been pretty solid. I know there are a few mechanics here and there have had some issues. A few owners here and there have had issues, but we don't have big recalls, don't have big issues on this stuff yet, as far as that goes. And yes, it's been out for a while. The Jeep Wagoneer had it. This is not a brand new engine. It's been out for a while. And I'm certainly pretty positive now they've had some that have racked up pretty amazing amounts of mileage. So interesting. I'm just curious your thoughts. I just rambling in my head. I just put my screen protector on this Ford screen. I'll put a link down below. It's screenprotect/Tim. You get 15% off this screen protector. Put it on here, and the dash here keeps these screens nice. Actually covers up scratches as well if you have an older truck, and I really like them. It's a nice way to protect your screen from scratches, and it puts a nice cover on there, so keeps dust off, fingerprints off. Big fan of these screens. Again, screenprotect/Tim. What else is going on the website? We are doing a lot. I have a team now, about 15. We're ramping up for some big news. So there's some big news starting July 1. And I have the team is just rocking and rolling right now. It's a lot, guys. So I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted these days, because I only have one person here, and managing a big team like this is a lot. We have a lot of reliability posts. If you haven't checked the reliability section out yet, or in a while, we have Titan news, we have Power Stroke news, we have Silverado heavy duty news, we have the GM the L87 problem, which is their 6.2 liter engine problems. We have Tacoma blowing up. We have some failed Cummins. We have my thoughts on a Tundra that a lot of people really appreciated my thoughts on a Tundra and what the 15 years I covered that truck. We have some changes for the Total Care. Why they cut Total Care for 2027 model year? If you haven't heard about that, we have known problems Sequoia, which I need to do that video. You guys have asked some questions about that. We did the post, we did the video. We have Super Duty problems. I have Nissan Frontier problems. We have Toyota problems there as well. And we're doing a lot for comparisons, buyer's guide reviews, and recalls. My goodness, we have recalls, and recall news. If you have a vehicle and you're curious about stuff, we have recall news for you all day long. So there's a lot going on pickuptrucktalk.com, and you guys are finding it because every time I turn it on the website, it's blowing up again. So lots of good stuff going on over there. Check that stuff out on our YouTube channel. We're trying to keep up with everything. We have I did the Goodyear Wrangler versus Territory AT versus the Kumo Road Venture day to day. I wanted to get that video out. I've had those tires for a while now. Get that done. I did the GMC Yukon, GMC, I want to say Yukon, somebody said Yukon in the comments, but GMC Sierra 1500 Ultimate Denali Diesel versus the Ford F-150 Lariat. I tell you what, I love that GMC, but I'm really hoping the new one has better seat comfort. The new one, I'm hoping it's going to come out by October this year of the 2027 model year, be a brand new truck. And I'm hoping they keep that diesel, and I'm hoping it's going to be that much better as far as seat comfort, because that could be the best truck out there. And I don't say best truck very often. I'm very picky about trucks. I've gotten a little older older these years, and I got pretty picky. But I tell you what, they can get that combo right. If GM cannot screw it up and just get it right, ooh, man, that could be great. We have the Toyota RAV4. I did. It just sells like crazy, man. It's obvious why that sells so much. We have the Ford Super Duty known problems. I can't believe Death Wobble is still a thing. And I have two videos coming out for members only. Sorry, there's people that throw a fit over members only to me, and they think I'm being greedy or something. I will tell you right now, members have asked me to do this. So be mad at them, don't be mad at me, or hate the player, or don't hate the player, hate the game, or whatever you guys got to say these days. But yeah, this is something they've asked for. And so yeah, we have I drove the new BackCountry that video drops on next Monday. And then the following Monday, I drove the new Rebel Lunar Edition, which I did not realize is Cummins only for that Lunar Edition. And yeah, it's $94,000. Yikes, it's a lot expensive with that truck. We have my thoughts on the Tundra as well, going back a little bit in time here. Other things, videos going live. And we have lots of YouTube shorts coming. If you like YouTube shorts, you can see a lot of Corey. Corey's doing a lot of these YouTube shorts because, again, big news coming July 1st. Huge news. Massive. Again, I got 15 people writing stories right now and shooting videos and doing stuff. And so he's doing a lot of stuff on shorts because I don't have the time. And I'm going camping next week, which is causing a little stress about that as well. So I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days. They're going to do, the team's got it. You have a lot of news coming from them, and things have already shot that coming out for next week. But yeah, this is a lot. It's a lot of fun. And if you've been with me all these years, I got to tell you what, you're going to love what's coming. It's the biggest shot I've ever taken in my career. It is fun. So I hope you join me. Hope you stay around. I hope even my haters, hope you guys stay around too, because this is big. This is cool, and you're going to love it. So make sure you check out other videos. Make sure you get a website, and make sure you stay on this channel July 1st and check out our social media. Check out website on July 1st. You will see an announcement that should blow your mind. As always, thanks for watching or listening, and I will see you down the road.